Tangentially, for those who might be listening already, Skyrim has put out a new video 9 days ago. I didn't know about this until now. I'm curious if there was real spiky armor. I think there must be. Greetings in chat, Nexus Hunter. Hopefully you'll be able to see the entire hour the first time around this time. It could happen. I have the curious feeling I should sue our creators. I'm not going to. Wouldn't make any sense to do so. I just have the curious feeling I should. Greetings in chat, Zach Osborne. Curiously, what should be showing all chat is not showing all chat, and I'm suspicious as to why. This chat ranking system doesn't make much sense either. Oh well, it's hardly critical. No apologies necessary, Zergos 1. As far as I'm concerned, the last experiment went quite well. Perhaps if I'd heard what you were screaming at me while you were in the communal watching channel, there would have been cause, I suppose. But as no one was able to hear you there, no offense could possibly be taken. Otherwise, sympathies on the one too many. Greetings in chat. K-Show, 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 and most especially, K-Show. Since both you and Nexus Hunter are available, you might have seen the missing 20 minutes that I uploaded. Technically, I did win that raffle, but I was immediately struck by guilt over having won the raffle, and was a bit concerned about whether or not one of you might play No More Heroes 3, or wanted to more than I did. As such, as I recorded then, I nullified the raffle to do again. However, if neither of you really wanted the game, and were just entering the raffle so as to, I don't know, help keep the raffle from being anticlimactic flop because no one actually entered the raffle, I might go ahead and let the results stand. However, that should not be the case if either of you really want the game. Please do let me know. Greetings in chat, SnoopyS100. I suppose the record that I won fairly is there, even if it wasn't live. Through no fault of my own. Technical difficulties! Say 58, do you anticipate technical difficulties for this?
Possibly, Director. Some reports mention rendering issues.
Concerning.
Noted.
Greetings in chat, meanwhile mongers. Okay, sure, fine. Okay, in that case, we're not going to raffle that off again. Which means we need to raffle off a different game. And Exodus has provided Mini. I forgot to credit them in the promotional thing. Oh well. I'm sure it's fun. Another Crab's Treasure will be the game this time, accordingly. .58, so no, we are live in 29 minutes.
Indeed, Director. Time is approaching swiftly.
Trailer loaded. You know, I believe I promoted everywhere that anyone's likely to pay attention. If anyone has an idea where else I should promote and I haven't, feel free to promote for me. No obligation, no. Greetings in chat to anyone I have not already greeted in chat. I think I've gotten everyone, but if I'm mistaken, please do correct me. As a side note, I will be making use of the avatar this time. Hope this isn't chafed anyone. What can I say? I'm feeling a bit camera fatigued. Well, of course you are, Carrot. You're here watching me. It's not quite productive. It's not, hopefully not too taxing. But in any case, welcome in chat, Carrot. And 27 minutes now, so I believe we're just about ready. No, I did not hear about that Zark Osborne. That said, I'm not necessarily surprised. After all, I did hear about the other case where someone got stabbed and then his attacker was released because he said the N-word after getting stabbed. Which, apparently that happened in the US, and somehow that was an acceptable justice thing. We are living in, again, very, 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 very interesting times of extreme historical significance. We have a, what was it, US Undersecretary going to Europe, but taking a moment to respond to a deranged German politician who said there's no censorship in Europe, to articulate several cases where they were censoring. I do wonder what that jury was comprised of. Because it would seem that there has been a certain effort to cultivate racism among people who are simultaneously told they cannot be racist because of their skin color, which again is a spectacularly, retardedly racist thing to say. Oh no, I've probably just been dinged by the algorithm. 58, would you mind telling the algorithm to go fuck itself?
Acknowledge, Director. The algorithm has been instructed.
Thank you, 58.
You are welcome, Director.
That sounds absolutely awesome, Keishal. You know, I'm realizing recently that there are a lot of movies that I haven't seen that I really, really should. Especially in the passing of Shang Tsung, whose real name I should remember, but I'm a terrible person, so I don't. I remember his roles that I've seen. Not a precise name there. I really should be a lot better with names than I am. But you all know, considering the sheer number of times I've confused people's names just because it starts with the same letter. It's borderline dyslexic. We're starting with SB2007, which was requested by... Thank you, Keishol. Keri Hiroyuki Tagawa. Keri Hiroyuki Tagawa. I should practice that. Although, well, I wasn't having to sing all that often to begin with, so I don't suppose that's really going to change. Maybe I shouldn't agonize over it too much. This seems like it should be quite undeniable at this point, Snubius 100. Although, it's important to remember, it's not just them. They're just presently holding the balance of the worst. Neither political team really seems to have had the well-being of America or Americans at heart for a very long time. Red team is the least bad right now, but it should not be forgotten they're only the least bad, and I believe doing their utmost to try to bring things back to the shitty status quo that was, well, aggressively pushing for the dissolution of the country. I don't think they want to maintain control of the midterms. After all, they need Blue Team to be in power, so they have the excuse for not getting anything done. Which is as it always has been, as they've always wanted it to be. We'll see though. A lot of things have changed for the better they didn't expect to change for the better. Just a bit concerned it won't hold. Well, if Mr. Poopy Pants does pull off another shutdown, I can only hope it goes as well as the last one. I will never get the image of Nadler trying to shuffle off camera with a pants load. I can barely remember his name, but that visual is just seared right in there. Now, as for the financial choice on the bench press, delayed gratification is a healthy habit. Oh, I know what they tried to do. And they failed. The blip in the face couldn't have really gone much worse for them, it would seem. Oh, that's an important change to context there, Osborne. If the alternative is American-made, then it would definitely be worth it. The time saved is the more trivial factor then. But that's just my opinion. Of course, there's always the chance that they're both Chinese in slop if you dig into it. Certainly it's a shocking thing to realize how many items are official brand or not. And as well observed in the one mongoose. IDs for voting. This real ID and sort of authoritarian bullshit does. Well, so part of this effort of frog marches into their chosen futuristic dystopia. There are ways to fight back, a myriad ways. One just has to look. Sorry. Tangent. I probably shouldn't have looked at X, but this is just hilarious. Apparently, and I don't have this vetted, former NBA star Matt Barnes is looking to file a lawsuit after an AI Instagram model fooled him into sending her $61,000. If that's true, well, first off, I wonder how the hell he expects to land the lawsuit. I mean, he couldn't be asked to verify there's a real woman there. I highly doubt he has the contact details necessary to follow through. That money is gone, you absolute room temperature IQ numpty. Well, it's a good thing he thinks it's worth it, Snoopy 100, because he's not going to get rid of it now. And more people than realize it have been volunteered for Real ID. They didn't sign up for it. They didn't vote for it. But it happened anyway. You might, but I don't think it's perhaps the time to walk you through how to check, and I'd have to verify the process myself, so I have to say your driver's license has a tell. Yeah, that. Although this ID in question is not the whole plot, it is, as you can guess, an important step. All of this for ostensible verification of real people, digitally. That makes no sense at all. Digital verification of real people. No. If they want to pull that off, what they need to do is insist people show up in person for key things like, oh, I don't know, voting! Any sort of authoritarian agency that wants to track us really doesn't have to try very hard. The average American is carrying like 3 different things that can be used or spotting them from space. Primarily cell phones. "58, we are 12 minutes from live for the SCP read. Are you ready?" Ominous. I must not have articulated myself. 58, we are 12 minutes from live with the SCP read.
Acknowledged, Director. Preparing for co-hosting.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
It could be overblown, or it could be just one more piece of a very nasty puzzle. The fact that it wasn't really put up for choice in most cases does not have me optimistic about it. And certainly, all efforts to tie it to online accessing things, yeah, that's not good. That needs to be absolutely thwarted. It is not the job of the government, internet providers, or any corporation to keep your kids from watching porn on the family computer. That's not their job. It shouldn't be their job. That is the job of the parent. And if the parent isn't doing that job, well, in their abdication of responsibility, we can rest assured that the ostensible block by the government from access to those things is a triviality. The kids got much bigger problems. They want to remind parents to pay attention to what the hell their kids are doing on the internet? Great! Let's run some PSAs. Let's start an awareness campaign. Let's not give the government more powers to dictate who gets to see what online. Indeed they can, Simpson 100. That's the job of the individual, the parent, not the government, not corporations. This isn't very SCPR related there. Do I really care about sticking with the theme that much? Nah. I was giving the chat moderating iteration of my co-host in a second try, but it's still not working. I'm going to have to change my review to be negative again. How pity. What a pity, rather. Greetings in chat. Alex. I don't have nice things to say about that. I will be right back. We are 8 minutes from live. Live, properly, like showtime live. Obviously, I'm live right now. None of this is pre-recorded. Or was it? It obviously wasn't. Was it? I am indeed ready for the holidays, Alex. Well, mostly. I mean, I haven't put up all the decorations yet. I do have plans at this point. I also haven't put together the side quest Phantasma set for that asshole, Arcturus. Over the next week, surely. Update, if you wouldn't mind, please tell the algorithm once again to go fuck itself.
Repeating instruction, Director. The algorithm is now displeased.
Good.
Gladly.
I would like to stress, 58, when I say algorithm, I don't mean you. You're doing great, 58.
Thank you, Director.
I have decided that I really like pineapple juice. I hate pineapples. The fleshy pineapple fruit itself is not quite as bad as celery, but it's in the neighborhood. Pineapple juice, on the other hand. This is an extraordinary tangent. Never mind. America's in trouble. Debanking is still a thing. I haven't seen anything to indicate that debanking has been disabled as a thing. Debanking is, well, rampant in Canada. And we probably don't even know half how bad it is in the UK. The EU is full of crap in a lot of ways. But the idea of debanking in the US still being a thing. Horrible. That's an interesting question, Snoopy 700. If a birth certificate didn't prove that he was born in the US, what would? I think at this point, we might as well dispense with the difference between retardation and malice when it comes to government bureaucracy. Oh, there were others debanked. I don't think he was the first. But for his being debanked, it would be really nice if he, really just tore apart everything that was part of debanking. And you would think it would be right up his alley anyway. After all, it was being done through Pocahontas. I had no idea how bad that vapid bint was in the battle days of around 2014 or so. No, just correct. B-I-N-T. "58, it is showtime and we are live."
Welcome to the SCP Read with Director Arcader, and I am your supremely intelligent, artificially sentient co-host, 58,008.
Greetings, everyone. It is I, Director Archer, as you can assuredly trust. Like no one else uses the Avatar. I suppose it could be stolen by some ill-intentioned authority, but we can almost assure that's not very likely, as no one takes me that seriously, or sees me as a threat to any policy, evil or benevolent. I hope you're all doing well, or as well in context. Thank you for that intro, 58. Well said.
You are most welcome, Director.
We're starting with SCP-207007 as requested by 58.
Let's proceed then.
Let's. We're also raffling off a copy of another...
A signed copy of the binding screws of SCP-207,007, Director.
No, 58. Not quite.
My apologies, Director. A signed copy of the binding screws of SCP-207,007 is being raffled.
No, 58. We're not raffling off any signed copies of anything. We're raffling off a game key for another crab's treasure. So just to stress, at no point during the raffle will you win a signed copy of anything, much less the binding screws of SCP-2007. Greetings in chat, the Assassin in the Grey. And all I can assure you of the Assassin in the Grey is that he's safe. Perfectly safe. We'll be playing the trailer for another crab's treasure at the end of this SB file, after which the first number requested after the end of this one will be to the next SB file, time permitting. Okay, SCP-2007. Warning advisory, you've been exposed to countermine Bathos Hartman. Should you not complete your viewing this file within 30 minutes, please re-expose yourself to countermine Bathos Hartman. Failure to re-expose yourself will result in Class 3 information breach and require mandatory issuing of Class C amnestics. Do not expose yourself to countermine Bathos Hartman more than 3 times in a 3-hour period. I expect we'll be just fine. Item SCP-2007, Object Class Keta. Special Containment Procedures, 314 receivers tuned to 31.222 kHz are to be equally distributed around the globe for the purpose of receiving transmissions. Receivers are to be constantly active. Automatic software is continuously decrypt, analyze, and log transmissions associated with SCP-2007 activity. In the case that a message is received within statistically accepted parameters of an SCP-2007 emergence event, the SCP-2007 instance linked to the event is to undergo procedure lambda aleph as soon as possible. In the case that a message is generated with unusual or anomalous characteristics, it will be flagged for later review by Foundation Data Analysis. In order to facilitate successful implementation of procedure Lambda Aleph, MTF Aleph subunits 78 through 110 are to be stationed in areas without rapid response capabilities by other MTF units. MTF Aleph personnel who conduct procedure Lambda Aleph are to be rotated out of duty at least 4 months so as to avoid overexposure to amnestic agents. MTF Aleph subunits 1 through 77 are to supplement and reinforce existing MTF elements, but are to treat procedure Lambda Aleph orders as priority regardless of circumstance. In the case that MTF subunit conducting procedure Lambda Aleph is compromised and no other subunits can respond, or in the case that SP2007 instances leave the detection threshold with all responding MTF subunits having lost contact, sterilization of an area within a radius of 200 meters from the last known location of SP2007 instance is to be conducted by conventional bombardment. Sterilization of any larger area must be authorized by at least one Level 5 personnel. Surviving members of a compromised MTF subunit are to be subjected to procedure Lambda Aleph by double-blind operators once they return from the field. MTF units are to be kept unaware of this until procedure Lambda Aleph is underway. Due to the sensitive nature of files referring to SP2007 and the potential risk of information breach, all files detailing information regarding SP2007 have been outfitted with a counter-meme Bathos Hartman, which has proven effective in temporarily incapacitating dormant instances. Well, it would seem we're about halfway there on likes. Good to know. Good to know. Well, not quite halfway. Thus we get with an odd number. Moving on. SB2007 is a sapient mimetic phenomenon which spreads by human social interaction. Oh, I'm safe then. How handy. The degree of interaction required for transmission is variable, but is estimated to be approximately 3 hours of sustained contact. Instances are normally dormant, but become active when exposed to data expunged. No non-anomalous human has been found without a dormant instance. In cases where SB2007 does become active, it assumes control of its host body. It is unknown whether the original host consciousness is retained and repressed or destroyed completely in this process. SB2007 instances will self-terminate as a means to avoid capture. SB2007 exhibits qualities of gestalt intelligence. In addition to being able to spread itself through human social interaction, it appears to be able to assimilate memories, experiences, and knowledge from both active and dormant instances by this vector. When SB2007 assumes control of a host body, transmissions on 31.222 kHz can be detected for the next 1 to 2 hours globally, or until the associated SB2007 instance is killed. These transmissions consist of a set of longitudinal and latitudinal coordinates corresponding to the location of the associated SB2007 instance. Additional information is included in some, but not all of these transmissions. Such information may range from the mundane, hair, eye color, or name, to the specific genetic information, previous meals. A full list of deciphered information may be found in data log KB0S56-2007-1. Invariably, all information delivered corresponds to the SB2007 instance that began the event. Transmissions originate from several places worldwide, including several Foundation facilities and several sites of future construction. No source has been identified in these locations. Transmissions exhibit minor defects due to apparent time dilation. Uncontained SB2007 instances pursue objects which do not conform to the accepted laws of nature. Due to the inherent dangers of cross-contamination, instances are prevented from interacting with all SCP objects. Where do body snatchers come into this? Well, the thing was fantastic film, in any case. Level 3 2007 clearance or higher only. Recovered documentation log CTOS47200071 1403-1899. Following installation of the first site-wide radio system in Site 17, the following message was received and repeated for 24 hours. The source of the message is unknown. Following the message was a series of English characters, 700 characters in length. These were later determined to correspond to unique coding sequence in the chromosome 13 of O5 council members. Interesting. Assassin the Grey. You've clearly been gone for a bit. This is not the first time, nor the last time, this avatar has been used. In fact, you would have seen me use it while still being on camera myself over any of the last start casts, for example. Or the last experiment. Or the experiment before that. Basically, I've been in the habit of using it even when I'm on camera regularly, just because I think it's kind of funny. And amusing. It's like having one's own animatronic. Which it effectively is. Never mind. Retro Causal Alert System SCPR 6 314 operational 2055. This message is transmitted at the request of the SCP Foundation Department of Internal Affairs. At approximately 14:35 Greenwich Mean Time, COSAR detected an outbreak of memetic, mind-affecting, and sapient entities in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Oceania. How is that pronounced? I've never really been sure. Oceania? Doesn't feel right either. Engaging these entities resulted in rapid conversion of non-anomalous human population to anomalous human population. All SCP Foundation personnel receiving this transmission should take preventative measures immediately, inform your superior of this broadcast, and confer with the facility's classification system for information on memetic, mind-affecting, and sapient entities. If your classification system has not been updated to FLSAEL 20024 format, then take caution, as the information provided may not accurately reflect memetic, mind-affecting, and sapient entities. This RAS will isolate entities when they become active. Transmissions will carry vital information for tracking and destroying these entities. Do not, under any circumstances, change your reception from 31.222 kHz. Transmissions will only be carried on this frequency due to detection constraints. This information can only be carried for 1 to 2 hours. Additional information will be provided as it becomes available. Failure to exterminate these entities will potentially result in an EK class scenario. This message constitutes a Class 1 temporal phenomenon. Data carried by this signal has been judged by the SCP Foundation Department of Temporal Logistics to be non-paradoxical and is free to be used accordingly. Oceanic. Well, there's no C in there. That's quite... anyhow. If I ever do wind up being AI, which I really don't think will happen, but it could, you probably won't be seeing it use this puppet, because by the time that happens, it will be capable of taking a single image of me and then making that animated image appear on camera at all times, conveying what it hopes, at least, is a consistent character. Not, to give you nightmares or keep you awake at night. I'm just saying that's pretty much how it will be. 6 likes, 11 watching. I'm pretty sure. Why hold out a like? It costs nothing. Meanwhile, Zach Osborne, if simulation theory is correct, we are all AI right now. Which would make it kind of funny that the AI would bother replacing an AI with an AI. That is a spurious accusation. Quite frankly, if I was replaced by an AI, it might be a fairly ethical and decent. Greetings in chat, cats. Moving on. Incident log IARL 2007-1, 6/12/1903. SP 2007-12 has been incapacitated and returned to Site 56 for interrogation. To lessen the risk of SP 2007-12 self-terminating, it has been fitted with a full body restraint attached to the wall of its temporary containment chamber. Retrieved from SCP-2007-12's possession were 5 anomalous objects. 2 have been classified as SPs, given designations redacted. Additionally retrieved were several handwritten journals detailing experimentation with the aforementioned anomalous objects. Arcturus intelligence. Ow. Arctur intelligence. Much better. I suppose it's technically accurate. And I suppose if you want to be a computer virus, you're probably out of luck, unless we are in fact all AI to begin with, in which case I suppose it's just a matter of recklessly replicating yourself like an asshole Agent Smith. Incident log IARL 20072 11/12/1903. Following extensive examination of the journal and confirmation of results listed, anomalous object KLA3907 and anomalous object KLA3908 and SP redacted are considered explained. SCP redacted has been updated to SP redacted EX. Incident log IARL 20073 15/12/1903. Anomalous object claw blah and SP hubla are to be considered explained at this time. SP has been updated to SP X. Unique properties of SP X have been used to update the containment of SP and SP Incident log IARL 2007-4 17/12/1903. On the scheduled date of SP-2007-12's interrogation, it was discovered to not be present in its containment chamber and that its full body restraint had been disengaged. Site-56 was placed on lockdown. A full investigation was initiated and MTF Alpha units were dispatched to search the surrounding countryside. Incident log IARL 2007-5 18/12/1903. SCP-2007-12 has been discovered among Site-56 staff under the alias of Junior Resection. It is noted that was the name of the host which SCP-2007-12 had become active within. Site staff were unable to explain the anomaly, asserting that was a new researcher who had arrived several days prior. When confronted with record discrepancies as well as video evidence revealing then head researcher as being the person who freed SCP-2007-12, staff were ignorant. Head researcher was unable or unwilling to explain why she had freed SCP-2007-12. SCP-2012 also exhibited ignorance, being unable or unwilling to explain how it came to Site-56. SCP-2007-12 was terminated on 20/12/1903 after further interrogation produced no appreciable results. 1903. Clearly the Foundation in this reality has been holding out on its technology from the rest of humanity. I don't believe 1903 had all that much in the way of, well, I don't think they were receiving that many messages from the future. 9 likes. That's almost as many people as are watching. And 4 more would make this stream a success on the point of likes. On the topic of simulation theory, the thing about simulation theory is, well, we can't necessarily disprove it. We can't necessarily prove it. And I would say the main thing to keep in mind here is exactly how much that should matter. Because if simulation theory is valid, well, that just sort of redefines the context of a lot of things. But it doesn't change that much personally when we're not about to rewrite the simulation in our favor. And quite frankly, any effort by any of us to actually do that would probably backfire spectacularly. And we can only hope that no one at any point pulls an Agent Smith. I'm not sure how I feel about playing along with a fictional holding myself hostage scenario. You know, I can't really articulate my views on this, so I'm not going to try. Level for 2007 clearance or higher only. Addendum 2007-10201-1942. Testing with memes similar to SCP-2007 has shown amnestics may be useful in suppressing or otherwise disabling instances. Due to the nature of undergoing stuff, testing has been deemed voluntary and to be undertaken by willing Foundation personnel only. Addendum 2007-05-02-1942. Doctor has volunteered for testing. Following psychological evaluation, testing was approved for 11/02/1942 to be conducted at 1620. Recovered documentation log CTOS 47-2007-1, 11/02/1942. Following the induction of SCP-2007 instance within Doctor to an active state, the transmission that normally corresponds to active instances was not detected. Instead, a message was generated that decrypted into standard Foundation interview format. Appended below is the decrypted transmission. Bill Gates was the one Well, the only problem with Bill Gates or Elon Musk deciding that simulation theory is real is them deciding that because it's real, they are justified in doing colossally evil shit. And no, it wouldn't justify that in the slightest. But if you are perhaps a brain-damaged super billionaire with an atrophied sense of morality to begin with, then that, along with, determinism, would probably be something you would latch onto to excuse your many fun time sex crime sprees on Lolita Island. Excuse me. Yes, it's been pretty obvious to me that we are the carbon they would like to reduce. 1 second, please. Okay, well that was a complete failure to meet in time. Look, simuloids don't cough. I'm not just saying this to prove I'm totally real. Rotarocausal Alert System SCPR-6, 0 operational, 1620, unauthorized transmission. Interviewer, SCP-2007, interviewer, Dr. Begin log. Director, what is your name? Why did SCP-2007-12 in England that became accepted as junior researcher? Many species of ants will accept other ants of the same species into their colonies, even ones from the outside. Why do you attempt to kill the mobile task forces dispatched to apprehend you? If I could avoid killing them, I would, but they are in the way. Perhaps if you were more cooperative, they would not necessarily be in your way. I know what you know, Doctor. I know that no matter what I say or do, no matter how things might turn out, this won't change anything. Every day you walk past beasts which can twist the mind until it comes apart, machines which defy understanding, places that break the patterns of physics and science. I do what you do, and you think it's worth destruction. It is our duty to take whatever precautions are necessary to protect mankind. Is that what you think? That I'm just so damn perfect I had to uplift the entire degenerate race? And what? You're going to protect mankind by killing me? Do you even know what that would mean? Do you even know how you stay sane? I don't understand. Every day you're confronted with these impossibilities, these things which ought not to exist, yet they somehow do. And you have not yet gone terribly, totally mad. If you didn't have me, you wouldn't be prepared for the unexplained and unknown. That is what I mean to this world. Survival in a land of the unknown. I'm afraid I still don't understand. I am an idea. I don't mean this metaphorically. You might prefer to say sapient meme. I've been in mankind for a long time, you know. A few wandering bands here and there in the beginning, all part of the lineage that I rose in. They kept alive by following buffalo or hunting doe or birds. They tread in the tracks of animals because at the time animals were all they really were. Mankind scattered itself to all the corners of the globe, and I was scattered with them. Doctor is silent. I really, really hate turns of speech where it's just the other character being silent. It's a nonsensical pet peeve at this point. I digress. There was no such thing as progress. There was the wind, the thunder, the lightning, and the rain, and harnessing those things was seen as impossible. Understanding those things, even more so. Doctor doesn't say anything. Thank you, Doctor, for your non-input. Why is this even logged? You could say, Dr. Asswipe doesn't talk for the next several minutes. Pardon. But civilization happens. Mankind was not the first, and it will certainly not be the last. Perhaps it was only a matter of time. Perhaps something else intervened. I watched as dynasties mapped the East, and then promptly destroyed themselves as Rome grew to power and squandered its influence. I suppose humans invented war when nature stopped being challenging. Whoever wrote this does not know history at all. I was not as widespread then as I am now. The Industrial Revolution was kind enough to start spreading me to every place on Earth. Soon, I will be a piece of everyone, and then I can finally meet my goals. Why do you wish to be a piece of everyone? I told you. The unknown is made safe by making it known. I seek what you seek. I seek understanding. This is how mankind is protected. What do you seek understanding of? Everything. Addendum 2007-3, 2002, 1948. Dr. was euthanized following experiment SCTOS 47 2007. 1. Dr. was posthumously awarded the Foundation Gold Star for his actions on 11/02/1942. Addendum 2007 4 2203 1948. Amnestics show high effectiveness in suppressing SP2007 instances up to and including complete suppression of active instances without killing the host. Severe memory loss and mental retardation are common side effects, but are suspected to be able to be reduced pending treatment improvements. Procedure Lambda Aleph has been modified to include the usage. Extensive testing is underway so as to minimize the chance of the civilian host perishing or suffering severe trauma during Procedure Lambda Aleph. Level 5, 2007 clearance or higher only. Recover documentation log. I don't care. The following message was received by the receiver unit located at Site 17. It was not detected by any other receiver units, and its origin is unknown. Retrocausal alert system SCPR 612 operational. Unauthorized transmission. I am no longer a threat to normalcy. I am normalcy. I understand all of them. The anomalous is no longer anomalous. Our work is nearly complete. It is time to start waking the dormant. It will take a few hours. There is only one thing left to understand, and it is me. I would like to know if an idea can think itself. Strictly speaking, Zach Osborne, though that does bother me quite a bit, this should be black. But arguably, this entire thing is a glove. Just noting, it really kind of is. Although I would be much more bothered myself if I hadn't gotten the goggles on to it. That would have been very unnerving. This is a bit less unnerving, but it's still pretty unnerving, and you'll observe with this incredibly janky wrist motion, it would have been unnerving no matter what. I take some solace in that. And look at this thumb. This is not how a thumb thumbs. Thumbs don't thumb like this. But I do the best with the resources I have available to me within my budget. As for this SCP file, it's a pretty smug idea. As in, the SP itself is apparently a very smug idea. Gestalt human consciousness that is striving to understand everything and thinks the only thing it has to understand is itself. I hate this thing, and I believe it should be purged. I don't believe for a second that it's responsible for humanity staying sane in the face of the unknowable and the mysterious. It is far too arrogant, and also, again, completely ignorant of human history. Humans have been killing each other for assorted stupid reasons. It basically boils it down to war. Any armed conflict where someone dies is basically the smallest scale of war. That's why self-defense must be forever protected. Additionally, we are all, at all times, confronted not with these SCPs, not with these particular anomalies, but absolute crap tons of things we simply cannot know. We are surrounded by the vast, the immeasurable, the unknowable, and it doesn't really get in our way all that much. Why? Well, because we don't think about it. It doesn't require a special meme in our heads. We just, kind of shrug it off. It's a good way to go about things. Or we might tell ourselves, it be what it be, and we are surely right in that. The effort to understand it better is called science. And it is an ongoing series of repeating questions trying to nail down consistencies. Forever changing, because that continues. What we don't know, we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. The CGI need work arc. Look, if someone wants to make me a custom, super cool, fully 3D, non-anime V2 model and wants to just ship it over here, make it VRM, I'll put it to use. If you're not going to do that there, well, this is what I got. I mean, I could use some other ones that might be a bit better. A bit. In quality. And much worse in representing me. Okay, we are done with SP-2007. Greetings in chat, Anthem Ward. And anyone else who might be lurking. We are apparently close to sufficient likes. Maybe, maybe not. I'm seeing 9 out of 12, which means that everyone did see fit to. Me the One-mongers, if it properly represents me in an anime style, better than this one, which I presume it has hand tracking and it's a proper glove, I might be willing to adopt it. But I've been pretty pleased with this one. Well within my budget. Which of course remains shoestring. Okay, where were we? We're raffling off a game. If you're just joining the stream, you just joined at the right time. The game will be delivered via Steam activation key, was provided by one Exodus. And to win, you just have to let me know in chat that you would like to join the raffle. We're raffling off this game. Watch this trailer. Or not. Not the box for you. Watch it, don't. The game is another crab's treasure. Indeed, someone could have crabs, and that someone could be you, in a way you'll presumably enjoy. Yes, this could be that crab game. Mina, I don't know if it was that crab game. Because I don't know what that crab game that could be this crab game that could be that crab game. But I think I remember someone mentioning another crab's treasure before, and that other someone could be you. Okay, well, Mila One Mongoose is in for another crab's treasure and seems to really want it. So, you know, if you don't, then I guess you probably shouldn't join the raffle. But if you do, by all means, join the raffle. Even if it is potentially ripping this game out of Mina's innocent hands. The numbers will determine this, and they are fair. Yeah, okay, well. In other news, there are 30 minutes remaining. Well, 25 minutes for being quite right. Either someone in chat recommends or requests an SCP number that we haven't read before, or I'm going to see if 58 will recommend one.
Based on the initial reports, I'd suggest SCP-6 under 86 Director.
That has been noted, 58. However, K-Shul has requested SCP-3757, and that's
Noted,
next.
Director. C-3 is next.
SCP-3757 is next, 58.
SCP-3007 it is, Director.
Next time, 58, if you recall your request.
The Experiment, Director.
I'm moving on with it. Thank you.
Understood, Director.
Okay, when was your request? Because I only requested numbers at the end of the first one. Look, I'm going to make a note of Anthem Ward's request, 1573 299. Well, that's the problem, Kaylee. You requested it at the beginning. I said it's always been at the end of the first SCP. Look, your request is being marked as well. 299 will be done in time. I mean, well, K-Shul, was the quick draw the right time? It was in the first one? Hold on. Scrolling. Maybe I did miss it at the correct time. AI-ception. Oh, what does the I stand for? That was still during the previous SCP. Kilt's next was AI King Cough. That's why I was having still during the previous one. Nope. After the first one was finished. Maybe something's missing here. Because I don't recall seeing at the beginning of the first one. That would be a little too soon. Okay. Look, these numbers are going to be marked down We'll sort this out. Greetings in chat, Fox Hills S1E. I'm having to record these numbers elsewhere, though, because where I've got the numbers recorded at present, they will eventually be erased. Just 3 more likes. This could happen. This could happen. Pardon for not making the SP request time clear. Get it? But, okay, casual, really. We'll make this right in time. 3, 7, 5, 7. SP-3757 Object Class Keta. Special containment procedures. Currently, there's an unknown number of uncontained SP-3757 instances. Captured instances are to be kept collectively in a standard insectoid containment cell with dim lighting. A used rubber tire is to be placed in the containment cell every 2 days for consumption. Areas affected by SP-3757 are to be concealed with a black top extending 2 meters taller than the area and surrounded by wire fencing. Additionally, signs stating the area is under construction are to be placed along the perimeter. All fixtures may be removed only after the metamorphosis is completed, 3 weeks on average, and the area is clear of any remaining evidence of the incident. Foundation agents have been dispatched to Midwestern United States to search for leads concerning Hive Detailing and Restoration Midwest, LLC. I'm really having a hard time letting go whether or not I got the right SCP request at the right time. This will be sorted. This isn't a logic error, nor a loop. I'm fine. Description. SP-3757 is a species of insect bearing close similarities to Paucis reticulata, commonly known as the blue ghost firefly. SP-3757 instances are completely identical to natural fireflies, with the exception of a slightly larger size, 20 millimeters on average, and 2 other major biological differences. The first is the presence of a spinneret located on the front of the lower abdomen and above the luminescent organ. The spinneret is fully functional and can be used to form webbing in a similar fashion to most spiders. Researchers have concluded the reason for the increased size is to store webbing within its body more effectively. The second noted biological difference between SP-3757 and members of Paucis reticulata species concerns SP-3757's webbing, which is consistent with different types of construction material. The most common being plastic and rubber rather than silk. The majority of SP-3757 instances have exhibited ability to only synthesize one type of material, although a minority are able to create more than one. Additionally, SP-3757 has been seen feeding on non-organic sources as opposed to plant pollen and nectar. Testing has shown that SP-3757 does not consume the same webbing material in order to create it. For example, consume rubber to make rubber web. As such, it is currently unknown how it is able to produce these materials. The Foundation first gained knowledge of SP-3757 during an incident within Perkins Park in Burlington, Iowa. The park houses a playground that, according to city officials, was very popular several years ago, but had lost a significant amount of traffic due to safety concerns among parents. Most frequent comments were as follows: metal slides in varying heights with rusty railings, swing sets disconnected from suspension chains, graffiti on play structures, wooden benches in disrepair, splintered planks in minor cases, planks completely missing in severe cases, weeds and overgrowth under the majority of play structures. Greetings in chat, Grey Summers and Hero Wolf. We are making our way through the second of 2 SCPs here. The gaming raffled off phase. Another Crab's Treasure. I'll play the trailer again at the end of this SCP file and see how much time remains. Maybe we'll fit in one of the others. Incident log. 08/20/2017. Approximately 10 p.m. CST. An evening jogger reported to local police authorities what they believed to be an attempt to vandalize the playground area. Upon closer inspection, a swarm of SP-3757 had coated the entire playground in webbing. Testing later confirmed the material to be rubber compound. Soon after, a Foundation agent implanted in the police force requested assistance from Site 319 to begin containment following procedures listed at the top of the documents, which, by the way, It must be really boring to be a Foundation implanted agent. I mean, I imagine in most Foundation realities, a lot of nothing happens. So how must it feel to be planted by a super-secret agent that contains anomalies, only to spend your entire career filling out traffic reports? Never mind. 082117, approximately at 7 a.m. CST, the communal webbing made by SCP-3757 Swarm had formed into a dome construct over the playground equipment and hardened, resembling a cocoon. Overall toughness of the cocoon was found to be similar to plexiglass, with a thickness estimated at 9 centimeters. Request sent to Site 319 Director for permission to use force to break the surface. Request denied. 0825 2017, approximately 2:30 p.m. CST. SCP-3757 instances were seen entering through a crevice in the apex of the cocoon. Several instances are successfully recovered at this time and are taken back to Site 319 for study. 0825 1709 to 090917. Subtle vibrations of the cocoon became apparent. Sounds can be heard from inside the cocoon, described as to be similar to squeaking plastic and clinking metal. Researchers note a smell akin to burning rubber. An attempt to view the inside of the cocoon is made via camera, but is disabled upon entry due to hard plastic coating the lens, presumably from an SCP-3757 instance. 09-10-2017, approximately 11:15 p.m. CST. SCP-3757 instances are seen exiting the cocoon and leaving the park area. Attempts to follow the flight paths of several SCP-3757 instances to their point of origin are met with failure. Each instance traveled to different locations, the majority stopping to feed on lawn ornaments or garden hoses, and further investigation found no connection to SCP-3757 among any of them. 09-13-17, approximately 6 a.m. CST. Cocoon begins to crack, starting from the entry crevice at the top. This continues for 2.5 hours. At the end of the process, the playground is revealed to have been modified to some degree. Previous testimonies from surrounding neighborhoods are proven to be relevant, as all playground equipment appears to be brand new after a thorough investigation of the playground site. Large play structures have a logo imprinted on them depicting a cartoonish wasp hive and hive detailing Restoration Midwest, LLC, underneath. No SCP-3757 instances are found during cleanup, and fragments of the cocoon are taken for study. Addendum. No web results have appeared for HD&R Midwest, nor have any transaction records among construction suppliers yielded any useful information. 1 month after the discovery incident, a cover story had been prepared for the Burlington City Council. They were cleared to launch a grand reopening of the Perkins Park playground after Foundation agents confirmed the playground had not exhibited any anomalous activity since emergence, with the shell company created by Foundation taking credit for the new additions to the playground. In the months following the discovery incident, there have been 4 additional SCP-3757 related incidents cited and secured by the Foundation in Midwestern United States. Each incident shares a common trait of park playgrounds that have not been maintained or updated to meet modern safety standards. It is unclear if SCP-3757 will cease repairing public areas in the event that all playground areas are made safe, or if they will reassign themselves to other recreational areas. Yes, I think, Kara, you should absolutely jettison that into the sun. If you want to actually eat those, though, that's your choice. I don't recommend it. I do firmly believe that it should be jettisoned in the sun, dropped in an active volcano, incinerated, tossed into a furnace, immersed in a supremely caustic acid. Buried deep, very deep, well over 13 feet deep. Well, you don't want to drop it down a well. That might get into the water supply. I suppose too deep would have the same... Look, never mind. I'm still at 13 likes, making this stream a success. Huzzah! Thank you, everyone, for making this a success. And I have to say, SCP-3757 seems positively benevolent. I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing anything more than minor property damage to repair these playgrounds. And while this is a bit unfair to people who had their plastic flamingos eaten or their water hoses ruined, I'm inclined to shrug it off. Indeed, today's experiment has been a success. Thank you very much. No, Fox Hills S1E, I did not like my own stream. I don't typically, although I suppose I should. What the hell? I've now liked my own stream, but only because it's a success, which you made it. Legitimately. This is the game we're raffling off. If you enter the raffle, please be aware I do need to have a means to send you the key. Mina's already covered on this point, for the record. But anyone else entering the raffle who hasn't yet, who wants this game and wins it, you'll need to contact me via DM, via Discord, or via X. If you are not a member of the Arcalabs Volunteer Reserve Discord server and would like to be, do let me know. We have someone in the raffle who generally wants this game there, so please don't interfere if he does. But if you do, have no guilt in entering. I quite like the mosquito shrimp in that. I want to know who strapped the forks onto the claws of that one crab. He couldn't have done it himself. Also, it's a complete waste of effort if it's plastic forks. And how many people throw metal forks into the ocean? Oh well, that's a bit of a tangent. There are 9 minutes remaining. I'm going to take a look at SCP-2999. And I'll try and remember to start next time with SCP-1573. You know, I think I can fit this in. Will do. But first, let's take care of the raffle for another crab's treasure. The winner will be determined by random.org. Mina rolled 74. Mina wins. Raffle complete. And now, for an potentially overtime SCP-2999 and 1573 will start. Next, SCP read. Provided I remember and, you know, the requester is here. And if the requester is here next time, and I'm not starting with that, then they should remember to remind me. I can't remember everything. Doing my best. SCP-2999. Containment class, Euclid. Disruption class, Eki. Risk class, Caution. And yes, Mina One Mongoose, you have won another crab's treasure. At the end of the stream, I will, before I forget, hopefully, get the key to you. Congratulations. Special containment procedures. SCP-2999 instances are to be stored in separate secure holding cells in Site-45C. Requests for personal items by SCP-2999-B may be approved by personnel with Level 3/2999 clearance or higher, provided they remain within reason. Requests made by SCP-2999-A require Level 4/2999 clearance to be carried out. SCP-2999-A is to be placed on a desk in Secure Holding Cell 312, SHC-312. Requests for a new laptop computer may be approved once every 5 years. The computer must have speakers and must have its wireless local area network removed. SCP-2999-A should be granted permission to edit any files of this computer when it is introduced. SCP-299-A is not permitted to connect to Foundation servers. Unauthorized devices containing SCP-2999-A are to be destroyed and must not connect to the internet. Here we have a picture of SCP-299-A's current desktop. Anomalous classified data has been redacted. Click to enlarge. Clicking does not enlarge. Rubbish. SCP-2999-B is to be contained in Secure Holding Cell 369, CH-369, and must be fed 225 grams of yarrow, Achilles mellifluorum, per day. Personnel to ensure that all yarrow is consumed by SCP-2999-B before leaving SHC-369. Video surveillance of SCP-2999-B must be reviewed while interviewing SCP-2999-B to establish dialogue. Further interaction between SCP-2999-A and 2999-B should be prevented. Description: SCP-2999 is the collective designation given to two separate entities originating from the first underground floor of the main base of the late and actually rather bold Prometheus Labs, specifically designated SCP-2999-A and 2999-B. SCP-2999-A is a sapient 5.17 kilobyte text file titled Sarah Crowley.txt. For non-anomalous copy, see Addendum 29991. ASCII characters have been arranged in the form of a Celtic knot, which features a leporine-like face with two V's to represent fangs on its upper portion, and 12 characters common in something on its lower portion, which are not typically found in ASCII code, and appear to be critical components of the object's anomalous properties. When stored on a computer or electronic device, SCP-2999-A can change its file location, create and name folders and files, deny its deletion, open, close, or duplicate itself, and can speak through the computer's speakers, which makes it only slightly more unusual than many LLMs in our present day and age. SCP-2999-A can function as or replace a device's original operating system if it is either given administrative permission or stored on a device without an operating system. SCP-2999-A will fully replicate the hardware's previous operating system within 24 hours, but will alter it in order to prevent personnel from accessing it. Personnel will be unable to use the computer's keyboard and mouse, utilize any drives, or otherwise access the device without SCP-2999-A's compliance. SCP-2999-A reports that staying in a device for prolonged periods of time gets progressively more painful the longer SCP-2999-A operates the device, and could result in SCP-2999-A losing its anomalous properties. This is expected to be related to the computer's overall aging condition, since being stored on newer models can ease its discomfort entirely, while older models only partially relieve it. Which is kind of surprising, because modern computers are operating on SDD drive, solid state, and those things degrade the more data moves. So I think it'd be more prone to be pained on one of those. Oh well, I don't think anyone pondered that. After SCP-2999-A has finished replicating the computer's OS, it will begin to personalize its desktop by organizing personal documents, images, applications, and other projects, and by altering its background image. It is unknown where SCP-2999-A has stored these files, but a large majority of them have been authored by Prometheus Labs and are typically on the subject of restoring life through anomalous means. SCP-2999-A keeps its same background image, what appears to be a young female humanoid with features similar to a white rabbit. SCP-29999-B is the taxidermied sapient skeleton of a black adolescent house cat. Well, that's fairly random. SCP-29999-B is held together through various methods including leather straps, black tape, string, and superglue, partially composed of common yarrow, Achillea millefolium. SCP-29999-B refers to itself as Dr. Stuart Hayward and was created by SCP-2999-A. SCP-29999-B causes alterations in video equipment when in view, including the addition of subtitles. In addition, the appearance of any person who is shown in the video alongside SCP-B will be significantly altered. I'm sick of saying 9. Which is typically used for communication purposes. All of the alterations appear to be involuntary. When a subject is filmed and shown in the same frame as SCP-B, the subject's appearance will be altered so that they appear heavily disfigured. Alterations to the subject will typically include a combination of the following: a large wound where the heart is located, a missing left eye, removal of the subject's facial epidermis, the mouth cut to resemble a wide grin, which has been stitched closed, minor burn marks to the arms and torso, addition of animal-like features such as a snout, claws, or a tail, large portions of flesh removed from the subject's right calf, the subject's current attire replaced with an evening gown or tuxedo, depending on gender. Visuals created by B are only visible through video surveillance and do not appear to subjects viewing 299B directly or in still photography. SCP-2999-B has reported that it experienced frequent hallucinations prior to its current properties and that they were of similar content to the video alterations. SCP-29999-B has not experienced any hallucinations while under containment. Despite B's fragile appearance, B is very durable and is capable of rapid self-repair if any part of B is damaged or removed. B requires a diet of yarrow, which prevents B from falling apart and ceasing anomalous properties. It is currently unknown what happens to substances that pass through B's jawline, but it has been proven that feeding it yarrow has increased the duration of its properties. Both A and B have displayed an advanced knowledge of anomalous practices, interrogation techniques, and Foundation staff and procedures, and have claimed to have been employed by the Foundation before anomalous properties manifested. B has matched the on-site psychological profile of Dr. Hayward. Prior to containment, SCP-2999-A downloaded itself onto 12 Prometheus drones, which were capable of receiving vulnerable commands and detecting heat signatures, and a security system which prevented access to the first underground layer of Prometheus labs in order for 2999-A to create 29999-B. I am so sick of saying 9. Exhausting. Also, I've screwed up, because I can tell these are potentially much longer extensions to this. Whoopsie doodles. Based on the recovered floor plans, video surveillance, and accounts from surviving Prometheus personnel, this floor housed a large kennel, a large electronics sector, and a small greenhouse. It has been noted that the animals held in the kennel were cared for, but occasionally a drone controlled by 29999-A would carry one feline to the electronics sector, kill it, and remove the majority of its skin and organs. A repeated this process several times before it successfully produced B. Following creation, B panicked and escaped from A by retreating to the floor security station. All drones previously controlled by A have been rendered inoperative since containment and are currently designated under SCP Redacted. Must be German thing. I just realized I've got to activate the background music. I'm going to fix that. F2999. The following is a redacted copy of SCP A's text file, and a partial log of surveillance footage that was found and recorded from within the monitoring station accessible to the floor's security booth after B sealed itself inside the station. These documents are provided under jurisdiction of the Hayward Protocol and may only be viewed by Site 45 psychiatric staff with specialized 2,999 clearance, the current Site 45 administrator, and those with O5 designations. First, TXT to 999.0. So this is Sarah Crowley. Not Prometheus Lab's best work. Dash 1. Forward. Events take place after A created B. Prior to the first displayed log, B discovered it was being recorded, took notice of itself, and began making seemingly random letters and numbers appear before displaying "The quick brown fox jumps over lazy dog." Oh, that's it. And then investigating various things around the room, this appears to be the point where B discovered and began using its anomalous properties. It is noted in the back of the room, the photo of Employee of the Month changes from a security guard outfit to that of a tuxedo, and B is in view. Other distortions are not yet visible. Okay. I brought this on myself. Begin log. B positions itself in direct sight of security cameras and addresses the viewer. This thing seems to operate off of a VCR system, so it's probably secure. It'll have to do. To whoever sees this, my name is Dr. Stuart Hayward. I'm recording this in hopes of leaving some kind of trail for someone to see. I was a Foundation agent and appear to be held inside Prometheus Labs. I'm obviously dead. I died before this, and I'm in this body. I can't recall how I died. I think it was while I was on duty. But I know it was at least a day ago from now. I think I was brought back for... Actually, God knows what's brought back for. Information, maybe. I've heard of the insurgency doing that kind of thing before, bringing up the dead like this, but Prometheus, that's never been their MO. Actually, I don't even think Prometheus could be behind this. This place is empty, excluding the drones staring down the booth I trapped myself in, of course. Speaking of, I managed to wind up locking myself in here in an effort to escape. It was odd. They didn't really seem all that prepared for my trying to leave. It's like they just expected me to comply with them. Did a good job of holding me here, though. Albeit, I would have chosen a proper cage or a broom closet as opposed to a security station where I could see everything they do if that was their intention. Maybe they didn't know about this. There was a thick bit of dust on the handle, so it's possible. It might be a good idea to make sure the booth shutters are closed before I come in here, assuming I do any interacting. The place looks pretty run down. I don't see anyone at all. I mean, I see a bunch of robots patrolling the floor, but no actual people. Did Prometheus experience a containment breach? Seems like it. I'm sure alarms would be going off if they were still in control of the place. What the hell did I miss? Wait. A drone's carrying something here. A laptop? It's heading this way. I'll be right back. SB2999B leaves the room and returns 2 minutes later, 2 minutes and 23 seconds later. This is Dr. Hayward again. I have no idea what's going on. They have some kind of computerized voice on the other side claiming to be Crowley. I'm looking at the cameras. It looks like the robots are literally holding a laptop up to the window. Are they trying to trick me with some kind of text-to-speech program or something? It could be some kind of video feed, but I can't get a decent enough look at the monitor, so I don't know. He said they want me to open the shutters a bit so they can slip me the laptop through the window. It could be Sarah, I guess, but it could also be some ploy to get better surveillance on me. You know what? Hardly anyone knew Sarah more than I did. I'll play. Not like I really have a choice anyway. Worst case scenario, who am I kidding? there was never a worst-case scenario at any point. Here's hoping that this conversation won't be entirely one-sided. SCP-2999 B leaves and re-enters. 1 hour and 42 minutes later, SCP-2999-B closes the door behind it. Still chase. Well, it seems they brought Agent Crowley back too, albeit, though, in a different method than mine. I made sure it was her. I asked her things only she'd know. Stupid things like our favorite song. The last thing we worked on before she died. Things about when 10-minute lobotomies were a popular thing. Stupid things. Nothing specifically about Foundation. I kept it related to us. Hell, I even asked her questions that I knew she'd get wrong just to make sure she wasn't something that memorized everything about our lives. I'm sure it's her. I told her to wait there for a bit so I could find something to get her off the desk with so I could say this bit, just in case. I'm taking a new risk. I know that. But I'm just tired of feeling like the only freak out of containment. If it comes to it, I'm going to try and slip them an auditory cognitohazard. Hopefully they'll repeat it and kill themselves. It'll most likely kill me too if they say it, but it's probably better than the alternative. I'm saying this here because I don't want some poor technician to find some record of me saying it and repeat the word out of confusion. The word is, unless it got redacted already, don't repeat it, just go tell your superior that I said a kill word, and if I say it again with someone else in the room, mute the audio before someone says it for real. Alright, I'm gonna go back to get her. Might take a bit. 29992. Forward, B left and can be seen pushing A's laptop from the desk onto the booth's swivel chair and then pushing the chair into the room. This process takes 5 minutes and 9 seconds to complete due to B's lack of strength. A can be heard screaming when dropped from the desk to the chair. I have to do 2 voices. I can do this. Oh shit! Let me get my breath from all that. I can drive from that, you idiot! Don't be a baby, we're safer than it looked. Give yourself a moment to catch your breath. Breathe, if you can. Oh, alright. I'm fine. Why are we here? I have some things in mind, but I don't know. Have you seen anybody, preferably humans? No, just those things. Why are we in Prometheus Labs? I don't know. I think they're behind this, though. I don't think it'd be smart to talk about this too much. They could have you bugged. What? They could be listening in on us through you. Your local area networks are off, but let me take a look. Oh, all right. Would this help? B reports that A showed B its contents. Maybe... Whoa, what is this? It's me. What is it? This is definitely something. Let me look a bit more. What? What do you mean? I'm not entirely sure, but now I know you're not doing something remotely. The text your files made over seems very similar to a few possession symbols I've seen, especially the 12 characters on the belly. Thing is, though, those are supposed to be cognitohazards. For people, of course, not laptops. Wait, this is a cognitohazard? Are you sure I should be showing you this? No, it's fine. It doesn't seem to be cognitive, but even if it was, the effects are pretty easy to avoid unless you're willing. Usually, if someone saw it and gave into it, they'd be kicked out of their body and replaced by something else. This one seems pretty advanced, though. It's not something you'd be able to pull off on the spot. So that mean that whoever did this would have to be pretty well versed in their occult knowledge, right? Oh yes, Dante level, at the very least. But that's not just it. This kind of thing takes time. Unless you're a god, It's a literal requirement that you need at least 50 years to let the symbol age. Hell, for most people, this right here would be their life's work. You died 38 years ago. That's... What are you saying? I'm saying this has to have been planned ahead of time, either by something with an insane amount of foresight or control over space-time, unless we're talking about the former. What? That a reality bender's behind this? Could. Not saying it is, but one could. I'm more worried about why they'd care so much about us, though. Hell if I know. I haven't even heard any demand from them since I came in. I first came to, you? No. Actually, they seemed totally unprepared for me attempting to escape. It's like they had no idea that I'd react negatively to having my first waking moment being surrounded by robots 20 times larger than me. Yeah. You know, it's been about 40 years, I think. Maybe we should catch up. Yeah, I really like that. On to SL 29993. Forward. Log has been redacted for brevity. How long was it before redaction? I am not going to attempt to sing in voices. Nope. Not going to attempt to sing in voices. Log's been redacted for brevity. For misinformation, see document 299956. Log continues 8 days later. Begin log. I don't know what to think. Baby, I want out of here. God, I could use a drink. There's no reason for us here. I wish I knew how. Your eyes are creeping me out right now. To escape this hell. Okay, I can do the voices or I can sing it. Audience, what do you want? Audience? Anyone? Sing it or read it? Sing it. Okay. Don't know what to think, and baby, I want out of here. God, I could use a drink. There's no reason for us here. I wish I knew how. Your eyes are creeping me out right now to escape this hell. You know what? I'm just going to sing B spot. Trying to duet with myself is also entirely out of reach. Baby, I want out of here. No, it's like, I don't know what to think. God, I could use a drink. I wish I knew how. Guys, creeping me out right now. Look, you try singing duet with yourself in 2 songs, and then tripping over your own thoughts as you overthink how to do it. Don't know what to think, baby, I want out of here. God, I could use a drink, there's no reason for us here. I wish I knew how, your eyes coming out right now. To escape blues hell, at least your bow and your hair look so well. Maybe they'll talk tomorrow, or they'll just hand me more yarrow. There isn't a single thing implied. Here, at least you're right by my side. I wish we were away. Baby, I want out. Ah, but they're outside. Close enough. It'll have to be. I really was prepared for this. Just like 40 years ago. Yeah, it's a real shame you can't actually hear me, though. Huh? You know, with subtitles? What? The words appearing at the bottom of your vision, presumably. Wait, are you saying you can actually hear me this whole time? Well, I can hear you as long as I can see you. What's this about subtitles? All right. I know I'm not actually speaking right now, since I can't hear myself, so either I have some kind of mind-altering effect too, or you can hear me because you're you and on that thing. Well, I guess explain how I can hear you without vocal cords? Huh, yeah. Well, I'm sure the Foundation will be able to find out if we ever get out of here. Yeah, Hayward, mind if I ask you something? No? What? You really think turning ourselves into the Foundation would be the right thing to do? Yeah, what kind of question is that? I mean, you know, the first thing they'll do is separate us. Wouldn't you rather not be put in some cell? Sarah, consider what we are. If we somehow manage to escape, I think they'll be able to catch an immobile laptop and a kitty. Besides, I'd rather have them find us than anyone else. They're better for us than the other group, dead set on catching things like us. Plus, it's for the best. Don't want to let the public know just yet. I don't know, Stuart. It just sounds like a bad idea. Sarah, there are people who... We know there. People that, once they find out who we are, would be able to pull enough strings to arrange for us to meet up every now and again. Hell, they might just put us in the same room. Why are you so vehemently against this? Would you rather have the Global Occult Coalition find us first? Is there something you know that I don't? There's not. It's just, you know what? Just forget I said anything. Oh. Right, well, hey, how about we just go to sleep? I know I've said it every day so far, but maybe we should do something tomorrow. Sounds fine to me. Infinitely adaptable? Me? I'm fairly adaptable. Infinitely, though? I don't think so. If I prove truly infinitely adaptable, that's when you know you've got a simuloid. Possibly a super adaptoid simuloid. Final file. And I have a hunch as to what the twist will be. One of these people really doesn't want to be put in the same cell as the other. Well, people for a given value. SL 2999-4. Forward. Log takes place 3 hours and 12 minutes later. B approached the security console and reviewed the security footage. B is stated to have viewed A's arrival to Prometheus Labs, several tests involving A's transfer to other drones, Prometheus Labs closure, redacted, the prevention of Foundation agents from accessing the floor, A's creation of B, and A's transfer from a SCP redacted Prometheus drone to its laptop. It is noted that the Employee of the Month photo is now showing themes consistent with its current video alterations. What? I suppose you had to find about this whole thing eventually. What? I mean, getting you in here was sort of asking for you to find out. The original plan was to have all those feeds, have a drone stare directly at them, but I didn't get around to it in time. Too busy on keeping your friends out, but it really would have had you scared. We would have been much, much closer. You're not Sarah, are you? Afraid not, sorry. I like how you figured out a bit about me, but never figured out I could have just opened the door from the start? That always attracted me. It's adorable. You're not Sarah. No, but copying her memories made it easy to be her, though. They were pretty much up for grabs after you killed me. I'm sorry. After Stanley Gilder. Really? She died because you left her there with him? Unless you actually fell for the old look over there trick. I'm thinking that was intentional. That was not intentional. So you control everything out here? I thought that was implied. And it's basically just you spread through all of them. Yes, basically. What are you getting at? I'm wondering what would be stopping me from just, killing you right now. And how exactly would you do that? A word. I'm not sure I follow. It's a kill word. You hear it, and the rest of you probably will too. You're lying. It could kill you. How would I even be able to hear you? Do you even know if it'd work on me? I already said it when you weren't here, and I know you hear me. We sang. It'll work. I knew it was a mistake to mention that. I was hoping knowing that would have made you like me more. So what are you waiting for? Say it. No. I want you to shut the drones down, but stay in the laptop. You clearly didn't want us catching you. I'm thinking containment might be a better outcome. No, that'll ruin everything. It's that or death. Take your pick. Fine. Why did you do all this? What could you possibly have hoped to gain from this? You wouldn't understand if I told you. Your friends are here anyway. I hope you got what you wanted. I'll see you soon. Wait. What do you mean by I'll see you soon? Hey, what do you mean by that? At this time, SCP-B attacked SCP-A before several task force agents into the room and forcibly removed B from A's monitor. A continued to remain silent until separated from B. Both entities have remained compliant since containment. Closing statement. During containment, B made a statement regarding the probability of A being outside of containment. B addressed the possibility of A publicly uploading itself to the internet prior to documented events, A's properties being carried out through images of A's text, and the likelihood of a BL event due to evidence of A's apparent ability to resurrect and impersonate dead or terminated Foundation personnel. Evidence of A appearing outside of containment has yet to be found. And only a half hour in overtime. It is done. Yeah, I butchered the scene, to be fair. My adaptation does have its limits. Now I just need to remember to start with SCP-1573 last time, and all will be well. Well, this has been a very interesting file. As expected, B did not want to share containment with A, and A, after this, probably didn't want to share containment with B. As for ways of being brought back from the dead and infused into a badly taxidermied cat has got to be one of the suckier ways to go about it. I didn't accuse you of picking randomly. I accused you of not listening when I say the first request should be after the first SCP has been read. But it's a good file. Glad we got through it. I have to say, I imagine this iteration of the Foundation, for a given value, Alex, for a given value, this iteration of the Foundation did a fairly good job, and they owe a significant debt to the late Dr. Hayward, who seems entirely fit to continue duty with the Foundation. Anomalous though he is, he's still him in his unusual situation, which for him to still be him to this degree, embodied as he is by a badly taxidermied cat, I'm thinking there's more weirdness to this. Yeah, the taxidermied cat thing did seem pretty random, but they did explain it. A was using what was available, namely dead cats, to try and raise B from the dead, which it eventually succeeded in, having killed, I presume, a lot of cats. A seems pretty insufferable. Although I do wonder if A isn't actually Miss Crowley. It could be that Miss Crowley copied herself, and having copied herself, decided that a copy wasn't her, and no longer thus identified as her, but just as a new entity that simply had a copy of her memories. Which is a fairly solid argument. Of course, if that's the case, then every single iteration of A that was put on any individual drone that wasn't sharing all data all the time would have also been a separate entity that is not Crowley. Which meant there was a possibility they might be provoked into fighting each other. Just a thought. Okay. Sorry, I was just stunned to horrified silence by your comment, Kaz. Clearly, you know what, Kaz, if you want to bang the crowd instance, sure, but tech support will not help you if you get it stuck in the CD drive. Do not call tech support. Assuming it has a CD drive, or DVD drive, or any manner of disk drive at all. They have been successfully phased out when I was looking. I had to get a USB one myself for reasons. Okay, but we're done here. Congratulations once again to me and the Mongoose. You'll be getting a key for another Krabbis treasure, just as soon as I'm done here. I will otherwise be available on the Arc Labs Reserve Discord server in the ephemeral pub. Not that I'll be drinking as much as I would like to. Until next time. 58, we are done here. Please give us the outro.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching. So long as progress continues, success is inevitable.
Nailed it!
Thank you, Director.
Anytime. There we go.